So, day one, I drove from Alabama up to my son's house in Norman, Oklahoma. Day two, I spent with him. And day three, I left his house at 4:15 in the morning. Luckily, he goes to work at the same time. And left Norman, Oklahoma, and I drove 988 miles, most of that on Interstate 40. I drove through Oklahoma City and through Eric and all those western Oklahoma towns, and then came into the Texas Panhandle and Amarillo, which I call Armadillo. And then I drove through New Mexico, Albuquerque, the entire state, and then drove into Arizona, up to Santa Fe. That represented me traveling on Interstate 40. I picked that up in Memphis, Tennessee on day one, and I spent 1,000 miles on Interstate 40 up to Santa Fe, Arizona. Why do I keep wanting to say New Mexico? And boy, is that beautiful country there with the mountains and the forest, and too bad to say 4 inches of snow on the ground. Very, very beautiful. I turned there onto Interstate 17, heading to Phoenix. I stopped midpoint at a rest area called Sunset Point. Arizona allows you to sleep in your campers, RVs, or cars or whatever overnight. They didn't have any restrictions on that. So why not? Camping when it's free is a lot nicer than when you have to pay 35 or 40 bucks a night. So then that was the plan. I took off to Sunset Point. Very interesting. I got there and very interesting. It's kind of on a very high elevation, and when the light is right, you can look out over like a little valley and into the mountains, onto the mountains there in the west, and it's quite beautiful. I can see why people like living in this area of Arizona. Trees and snow and hills and mountains. Yeah, it's hard to beat that. That was day three, and I don't recommend driving 988 miles. I kind of like the rule 222. Drive 200 miles, arrive at 2 o'clock, and spend 2 nights minimum, and then move on. It saves you a lot of wear and tear in the car, a lot of fuel. Man, I spent a lot of money on diesel yesterday. Jeez, my credit card company is going to love me. So that's, but hey, to get to the RTR on time, that's what I had to do. I had to really push it. Thanks for watching, and this will continue on with another segment, letting you know what's going on my way to the RTR.